Greetings, my friends. This is Dr. Jimmy, and as you probably are aware, a couple of days ago we had our first haunted house announcement for Halloween Horror Nights 28 in Orlando later this year. In a little more than 5 months, I believe something like 5 months and 1 week, and a couple of days or something like that. On September 14th. September 14th. 5 months, 1 week and 1 day actually, because the 14th is not tomorrow, but next week, a week from tomorrow, Saturday the 14th this week, this month. So it'll be 5 months from that day, plus another week and another day, because it's Friday the 6th, at least it is right now. Yeah, it's still an hour before it becomes midnight and it becomes Saturday the 7th of April. And earlier this week you probably saw some April Fool's videos, and of course earlier tonight I made my reaction to the big announcement I've already alluded to, Stranger Things. By the way, cat in the back of the chair. You can't lean back or I'll knock the kitty off the chair and then you will be happy. Pet the Lenny cat. Oh, pet the Lenny cat. Anyway. And so, Stranger Things, the first haunted house announced so far. And with the coming of the first haunted house announcement, as you probably well know, is the coming of the first haunted house cocktail. Yes, this is the first house cocktail I am designing for Halloween Horror Nights 28. Now that we know what the first house is. So this is my cocktail for Stranger Things. Now how do I make a cocktail for Stranger Things? Because all the kids are too young to drink. Well, it took me a while. Well, actually, in I think season 2, there's a frat party Nancy goes to, gets rather drunk, and one of the boys there sort of recreates a scene from Animal House, because it's the 80s, right? Animal House was actually late 70s, but nevertheless recreates a scene, pure fuel, in a toga party. But I'm not going to make any purple Jesus for you. No rock gut vodka mixed with punch or whatever. I'm not going to spike the punch. No, I had to think of something else. And thinking about the whole thing, also someone said an upside down cocktail, but then all the liquor spills out. It wouldn't be very nice. So I figured it out though. You have to evoke something from the program, and what comes to mind for everybody when you think of Stranger Things are eggo waffles, of course. So waffles, which are Eleven's favourite thing. So I'm going to make a cocktail that reminds you of that sort of breakfast food. So what I'm first going to do, and I have to admit, it's not entirely original. I saw a similar idea somewhere online once. I don't remember where or the exact recipe, but this is based on that one. So it's not purely original. Someone else had a similar idea. Again, I don't know exactly how they made theirs and what ingredients they used exactly, but this is similar to that, a similar Stranger Things cocktail, at least. That's where I got the idea from. So, starting with a bourbon. And I wasn't sure what bourbon to use. I went to my local ABC. I could have gone to Total Wine, where they have a much better selection, but I didn't want to go that far when I was shopping earlier at that time. And I was looking at different, but I was hoping to find one that had a name that associates with straight. You know, if there's a Hawkins bourbon or something like that, something with a name like Byers or Hooper or Brenner, or something that associates you with a name from the program, or something that's aged 11 years maybe. But no, it's all 12 years and 8. There's a 9 years and a 10 years and a 12 years and an 8 years age, but no 11 years. Why don't they want to kick it up to 11? I don't know why. None with the number 11 if on anywhere on the label in a prominent way. I couldn't find any upside down anything sort of bourbons. Nothing with something that would remind you of Stranger Things. They didn't even have any Demogorgon bourbons, unfortunately. Nothing like that. No Dungeons and Dragons bourbon. Nothing. So I had to find something else. I kept looking. I finally came across this one, which does have a tentative link. What I decided on was this Larceny bourbon, because after all, 11 stole the waffles. She stole the eggos from the corner shop, from the convenience store, so, or a supermarket, wherever it was. She did steal it. This is John F. Fitzgerald, Larceny Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, very special small batch, 92 proof, established 1870. That's the Larceny. And indeed, oh look, there's a key inside the keyhole. I didn't notice that. The key's actually on the other side, label on the back, on the inside of that label. So when you look at that, it shines through. So it's actually inside. That's clever. But anyway, smells lovely. I decided that might fit in for a little bit of petty theft. We're going to pour some of it into this sugar. That's enough. And then we're going to pour this lovely whiskey into my cocktail shaker. And spill it all over my keyboard and ruin my computer. No, oh dear. I brought one of these. Oh dear, it's spilled on the mouse. Now the mouse is going to get all drunk and everything's going to go sideways when I try to make the videos, because the mouse will be moving all over the place, and that's rather silly. Okay, something else to add to it besides bourbon, of course. Now here's something I got from it, inspired by what I saw somewhere online. I don't even remember where it was, but basically to give it a sort of waffle pancake like flavoring, we're going to add a bit of syrup. Not bartender's simple syrup. No. We're talking this kind of Aunt Jemima. Yes, we're talking about maple syrup, and this is Aunt Jemima, so it's more like maple flavor. You could probably get legit maple syrup, and I'm not sure how it would work, but just a little bit, just a tiny bit of this. I have a whole other bottle in the cupboard, but I only have a little bit left in this bottle. I don't even need that much, just a bit. Don't want to overdo it. That's probably about it. Just a little bit, because we don't want to overpower it. Okay, so once we got that in here, we shake the bloody thing. Give it a good shake. Good shake. And that way shake up the bourbon and a little bit of syrup there. And so we pour that into the glass. Into the cocktail glass. See, just a little cloudy because of the syrup. Now, we take a little sip of it. Not bad. Barest hint of the syrup in it though. Maybe I should have added a bit more than originally thought. But the garnish is what's most important. What I did was I took your eggo waffle and I cut it into 4 pieces. Then I put them on the broiler pan and put a little butter, lots of sugar and a tad of cinnamon, and put them on the high broiler. If I had one of those little torches they use for bruleeing things, I might have used that to make it sort of get a nice crispy burn on it, crispy, crust, like you get on a creme brulee. But unfortunately I don't have one of those little torches, so I had to use the broiler pan. But it did melt up quite nicely, And so I have this little waffle, and I put a slit on it. So that is then your garnish. So here's the cocktail. As I said, it's a bourbon, larceny bourbon, with a little bit of maple syrup shook into it, and the eggo waffle garnish, which has been the sugar burnt, so it gets a little bit, you know, a little bit of a crust on it, the burnt sugar with some cinnamon, and it makes a lovely little like waffles for breakfast, but cocktail to get you all drunk. So here it is. This is my Stranger Things cocktail. Please don't drink it upside down, because then you'll spill your liquor. Not bad. Not bad. See, I didn't want to put too much of the syrup in there because I didn't want it to overpower the flavour of the bourbon itself. Bourbon itself is sometimes sweet. This one has some sweet notes to begin with. When I tasted it earlier, almost a little edge of honey to it. Now some of them get flavoured bourbons now that actually taste like honey or cinnamon or all kinds of crazy things. None that have a maple syrup flavour that I could find today. I bet there probably is somewhere. But this one is ordinary bourbon, but it's a very good quality one actually. Small batch, special, and it's got some lovely notes to it, and just a hint of the syrup, just enough to give it a sweet edge than it would have had anyway, and a little bit of that maple flavour, just a tad of that to make it taste a little more, you know, waffly. And then of course the garnish works even better. So after you've drunk the thing, you eat the little waffle, a little piece of eggo with the cinnamon and sugar on it, and it's just wonderful. It's like a good working man's breakfast, if the man happens to be an alcoholic. And Lenny's running madly through here. She's going to knock something over. You silly cat. No, Lenny, you're not allowed to have cocktails. The drinking age is 21. You are 4. That's too young. It's too young to drink. Especially for a kitty cat. Kitty cats shouldn't drink anyway. She's right here. She's being quite silly. What it is I'm not paying any attention to her. I'm talking to people who aren't there on this computer, and that annoys her. She thinks I've gone balmy. But mainly she knows I'm paying attention to something other than the cat. And so she's going to come here and disrupt it a little bit. And demand pettings and such. And I don't want this to fall off or spill all over my face, so I'm going to pull this off to finish, because otherwise it might spill all over me when I'm trying to drink it. Or go up my nails or something. Never drink your cocktails through your nails. No, not even if you're upside down. So, again, I talked quite a bit about Stranger Things earlier in the previous video, which I posted shortly before I did this one. Shortly before I began filming this one, actually. And it's, it should be an interesting house. Again, it's been a while. I only saw the first series. I didn't see it twice. I only saw it when it first came out. Back, I guess that was 2016, wasn't it? Yeah, and saw that, enjoyed it very much, and then when the second one came out last year during Horror, I think in October 2017, whenever it was, I think it was right about that time, or was it in the spring? Whenever it was, I don't remember when it came out, but what time of year it was. I don't remember that. But when I saw, I enjoyed that as well. So I saw them shortly after they dropped. Usually when there's a series on Netflix I binge it shortly after it starts. And, all the different Marvel ones like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Punisher, Luke Cage and Defenders, all of that. And another one, there was a wonderful one called Dark. It's from Germany. It's very good. Recommend that one. It's a bit weird. It's about time travel and other weird stuff. So I recommend Dark. And but Stranger Things, though, is the big one, and so it's been almost 2 years since the first one came out, and trying to remember everything that happened in the first one as opposed to the second one. But I hope to see, of course, the buyer's house will be a big part of the maze, and you'll have the fairy lights that Joyce put up, the Christmas lights she put up on the wall to spell out words and such, so that Will could talk to her from the upside down. The famous one is when RUN comes up saying run. And then Eddie comes out with a chainsaw. It's wrong run. And the Demogorgon comes out to the wallpaper. What happened, by the way, remember the first season, second season, right? Between the first and second season, what the hell happened to Will's little sister? Because it wasn't just him and Jonathan. There was a little sister in the house too. Remember? I'm sure there was I remember a little girl. And the girl saw the Demogorgon or something because kids can see shit or something like that. Where's that little kid in the second season? Unless I've made a mistake and it's someone else's sister. But it seems to me there was a little blonde girl in that house. Where'd it go next movie? It's like the older sister on Poltergeist. Just disappears in the sequel. Whatever happened to the older sister? Well, we know the actress was murdered, to be perfectly honest, and they didn't bother replacing her, I guess. But she's never heard of again. That's Richie Cunningham's older brother, goes upstairs and never comes back down again. Anyway. So, there's a cat back there. Just finished drinking it. I'm going to eat the piece of eggo. That's good. Hey, that worked out. It's got that crunch to it and that crispiness that I wanted to make. It's not just, sugar and cinnamon. It's got that melted and re-solidified sugar thing happening. Better than I thought. Yeah, that goes real well with what I just drank too. It's a lot sweeter than what I drank, but it's like dessert. So that was my Stranger Things cocktail. And who knows what the next one's going to be. There's so many rumors about what might be coming. And there's rumors about, things that were rumored. And, they're not coming anymore. But are those... they've scrapped that, it fell through. Is that just as much a rumor as the first? Maybe it was never going to happen anyway. Or maybe it is happening and the rumor that it's not happening is the rumor. So we don't know. This was replaced with that. No, that was not replaced. Something else was. I mean, you hear all these things and you have no idea what it is. The only thing we know for sure is Stranger Things. I had a lot of fun in one of my April Fool's videos earlier this week, back on Sunday, by mentioning mentioning every rumor I'd heard practically, to give it give people a bit of a go. Some of them are probably true, but not all of them. And, of course, I did mention Stranger Things was happening, and then I said it is, and it's going to be the purge instead, because they're all going to be purged. But purge might happen anyway, somehow. But one thing we do know is stranger things is apparently happening. So that rumor has been proven, but nothing else until more announcements are made. So until the next announcement, this is my cocktail video, the first one, and I have no idea what the next cocktail is going to be, because that depends on what the next house announcement is going to be. So we'll have to wait and see for that. So until later, have fun. Don't drink if you're not of drinking age. If you are 21 and older, drink responsibly. Do not operate motor vehicles or chainsaws while inebriated. You want to be completely sober when you eviscerate someone. Otherwise, you might cut them the wrong way and you'll miss all the really choice cuts for your cannibal barbecue. Till then, ta-ta!